Sorry I'm late, guys. There was traffic and had to get my burrito. And there was a puppy on the sidewalk and I had to pet the puppy because, it's a puppy and, you have to, when you see a puppy, you have to pet the puppy and that's... Anyway, I'm here now. Okay, my name is Jake. I guess Daniel's filling in for me. Thanks, Daniel. It is so good to be with you here today. You already went over the icebreaker question. Guys, we got a few things to cover before we really get into it this week. Here, before we get into the rules, the boys and the girls are still at a dead tie. They're still at 923 point dots for the boys and 923 point dots for the girls. Okay, guys, if you want these point scores to go up, send us pictures or videos or something of you guys going over the challenge cards as a family. This is what the challenge card looks like. It can be found on our Facebook page under week 1 worship, week 2 worship. They're saved as pictures, okay? So just tell your parents that. I'm sure your parents will be able to find it on our Facebook page, okay? And if you have any questions, you can always send us a message on Facebook or an email to me, to Daniel, or something like that, okay? We gotta go over the rules. That's one of the things we always do here at CC Kids. We always go over the rules. Now the rules are really important. They're really simple. There's only 2 rules, and you should know pretty good by now what rule number 1 is. And rule number 1 is respect others and yourself. Respect others and yourself. Now, a lot of you might have older siblings, grandparents, parents, aunts, uncles watching the adult service in another room of your house or apartment or wherever you're staying right now. And that's okay, but just make sure to not be bothering or interrupting their service while they're watching church. Okay? We're having church right here. This is the only place you need to be right now. Let's just stay here now, okay? And rule number 2 is, as always, have fun. We want you to have fun. We believe God invented fun. We believe God thinks fun is a great idea. I love that we serve a God who thinks that fun is a fun idea. It's great. It's great. So have fun while you're worshiping God, while you're learning about worshiping. So that means when the song is playing, get up, stand up, be loud, be crazy, and just have fun with it. Okay, guys? This is your time with God. All right, next, guys, we have the offering video coming up next. So enjoy that right here.
It's time to give our tithes and offerings.
Tithes? Offerings? Maybe you hear those words a lot. Or maybe this is your first time hearing them. We should talk about what they mean.
That reminds me of this question from Josh. He says,
how much money should I give? I've heard 10%, but I'm not great at fractions.
Well, Josh, the Bible tells us to give a tithe,
which is another way of saying we should give the first 10% of everything we get. When we tithe, we're obeying God.
We give our first 10% to God to show that we put God first before anything else.
Here's an example of what that means. If you earn $10, 10% of that is $1. If you earned $1, your tithe would be 1 dime. Don't be afraid to use a calculator or ask a grown-up if that seems tricky.
God wants you to give, whether you get the math right or not. We're being obedient to give back to God what He has given to us, and a tithe is just the start.
Any extra money that you give after you tithe is your offering, so you can give your tithe and an offering.
That's why we say it's time to give our tithes and offerings.
Thanks for the great question, Josh, and thanks for giving.
Because giving is a great way to
be obedient and put God first.
Giving is a great way to be obedient and put God first. Exactly. Giving is a great way to be obedient and put God first. Our church has this food truck, and we've talked about the food truck that our church has and drives around. And during this time of COVID and quarantine, that looks a little bit different right now. But our food truck is still blessing Greeley and still doing amazing things for our community. I'm gonna pull up this video on my phone right now. Okay, so right here, Ben is just talking about how the food truck is just meant to bless people who are taking care of our city. People, some people are not working, but some people are still working very hard, maybe even harder than what they were before. And he wants to try to find those people that can use a blessing of food and stuff like that. And also just be in the community to remind people that our church is still caring for people. We still care for you. We're still praying for you. And our food truck is a great way to remind people of that. And that's what Ben is saying right here. Here's a little snapshot. Here's a little clip from that. Check this out.
So what we are trying to do with the truck is we're trying to let the truck go to specific places so that it can be a relief valve for people to see that we see you, we know you, we love you, we bless you, and then it's kind of a place where people can come and listen to music, have some energy while they wait in line, and then they go sit in their car and have really good food. And so that it's a reconnected, a regroundingness, if that's even a word. It's a regrounding to life, and that's what we're looking to try to do. So my family can come to Montfort Park and take a walk during the week. I see the park employees that work for our city that are still part of the main economy of Greeley, and so I want to bless them. And so this week we're at the Greeley Parks and Rec division. We're blessing them with food. We're giving them a free entree on Saturday lunch or breakfast on Friday.